30-second delay between me talking and when you actually see it or hear it. Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. Oh, yes. Hey, everyone. Nice echo. Oh, look at all of you here. Oh, it's so nice of you all to join. And I saw that there were some people that were not able to join, such as Our Bucket List Has Holes in It, and Jeff in Ohio, Tiffany, and Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. I wish you guys could join. Maybe we'll have to do one at a different time sometime. But for all of you that are here right now, I want to say thank you for joining me today. And I want to say thank you to all of you for getting me to a point where I have over 2 million views on the channel. That's pretty mind-boggling if you ask me. So, thanks for the congratulations. So I wanted to just basically just dive right into things, and I want to actually start with Josh, and we're going to pick on Josh for a minute. No, we're not. But no, I wanted to ask everybody what your thoughts were regarding the last 2 videos that I posted. They didn't actually do as well as I had hoped that they would do. And so I just wanted to get some feedback from you guys and see what your thoughts were regarding the videos. Yeah, 2 million. It's pretty incredible, that's for sure. Oh, and I also wanted to let everybody know a couple of things. One, I do have a moderator, a friend of mine. She is going to be moderating the comments for me. And then also, I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm not going into politics on these live casts. And also, as you guys know, just play nice in the sandbox. I don't know, Josh. So Josh at Little Alaskan Home Place said better than he can do. I take a lot of, I don't know, inspiration from Josh because Josh has a lot of good ideas and then I just run with them. So just so you know, Josh. Hey, Angie. Nice to see you and David here. And Bill. Kenai is laying down on the floor behind me. He is still being camera shy, but he just heard his name, so maybe he'll get up. Hey, Kenai, come here. Nope. He's like, I ain't doing it. So some of you are saying that you didn't get notification of my video. Do you have bell notifications turned on, or is it just that you just didn't see it and you don't have bell notifications? Yeah, there's a 30-second delay on the audio. It's the best I can do. So the internet here is very, very slow, and I will supposedly getting an upgrade to my internet, but that's about 8 months away before that will be finished. So this is one of the reasons I was reluctant to go live until recently. So there's a question about have I ever had to use my sidearm yet? Not yet. No. I mean, other than varmints, but not against a large predator, no. Thanks, Original Six. Interesting. So, thoughts on the last video? Anything that you guys would like to see also in upcoming videos? I have a splinter in my finger, so if you see me fiddling with my hands, I just felt a splinter from loading the wood stove. Yeah, it's nice to see so many people from Alaska in the chat. That's nice, as well as everybody. Someone asked about when will the Amazon cart be available. It will be available, I believe, in April. We're still getting quite a bit of snow out here. It's not like it's snowing a lot, but it is making the roads rather icy. And so even though I've made it off the property more this year than I did last year, I'm still going to keep the P.O. box closed until spring because there's no guarantee that I can make it to the post office, and they will only hold things for 2 weeks and then they'll ship them back to you. And I just don't think that's fair to anybody. Yes, fishing vids. I will definitely plan on trying to get some fishing in this summer for sure. I'm definitely itching to get out and see some more of Alaska and to get back to fishing. Yes, someone asked, who asked that? Sorry, the comments are going by so fast. Matt AK asked if there was any plans to get a snow machine at some point in the future. Yes, there are plans to get a snow machine, but I don't think it's going to be this summer even. It might be next year before I get one. Probably wind up buying a used one, if anything. And the garden, yes, Charles Quick. The garden is in the plans, but I need to get a fence up to keep the moose out and to keep me safe from potential bears walking up on me. And the Clint Gilchrist video, or question, I mean, I have no idea who would win a fight between a taco and a grilled cheese sandwich. Probably the grilled cheese, to be honest. So I apologize too if this is if there's lagging or if there's even some dead airspace. Being my first and just not exactly sure what I'm talking about tonight, you know, I thought I'd just throw it out to you guys and feed off of your comments. There might be some times where I'm thinking through before I speak. Just, yeah, it's a little weird to talk to the camera and actually be interacting with others at the same time. I see a lot of moose on the property, though this winter I have not seen hardly any animals. This is to goat lovers question. I've hardly seen any tracks on the property at all. I did see some moose tracks about 2 days ago behind the cabin, but only a single set of tracks. And other than that, there hasn't been any tracks anywhere on the property. It's nice to know that I'm getting a couple comments saying that the video and the audio are looking good, which is nice because I had to turn off my Wi-Fi and I'm just using cellular to do my broadcasting. So I'm glad that it's not grainy or pixelated or lagging too much. Chris, your refund check is in the mail. If only I had your address, though. Sorry. I'm one of a kind, Clint, in case you didn't know that. One of a kind. They broke the mold after me. Sorry, I'm reading some of the comments. Do I have any hobbies? Yeah, I do actually. They are actually just fishing and gardening for the most part. I I've mentioned it in a few videos that I absolutely love fishing and I absolutely love gardening. My garden, you know, it's where I go to just zone out, and fishing for me is, yeah, that's my high adrenaline sport, because I totally get into it. So, and yes, there will definitely be more cooking videos coming. I separated the cooking videos from the regular videos because I know not everybody likes to watch the cooking sections. And that way, for those of you that want to see the cooking sections, there will be a whole video just dedicated to those. And then my main vlogs will still come out at the end of the week. So. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm getting some feedback that YouTube did not promote my last two videos. And yeah, it's a whole algorithm thing. It could be the way I titled them. It could be something in the description. It could be a whole number of reasons why they didn't promote the videos. And I kind of wondered if they weren't getting promoted because they just didn't really get a whole lot of click through, and even normal viewers were not checking on them. So that's good to know. And someone asked, so Thad Brown asked what it cost to buy land up here. It varies. It varies a lot. You can find some inexpensive lots around Alaska for about $15,000. And then there are other lots that are going for a few million that are postage size stamp. So, or postage stamp size. Yeah, it varies depending upon where you want to move, and, you know, what amenities are close by and how remote it is as well can affect it. But even something remote could be out of one's price range pretty easily. I wouldn't be able to tell you what the cost of land is in my area. I actually don't know of any land for sale in this area at all. And even when I looked, there wasn't raw land for sale. So most of the land is actually already held in trust or is already occupied, or yeah, I just didn't see any land for sale even when I was looking in this area. And I actually looked all over Alaska. Originally, when I first started looking, I was looking on the other side of the state, out by Healy and Clear. And I was dead set on moving out to one of those pieces of property. I literally had my heart set on it. I was going to fly out on a rush flight, like a red-eye flight, to get out here and walk the land and see it. And the real estate agent that I was dealing with at the time, he said, I won't show it to you. Oh, thanks, Original Six. I appreciate the super thanks. And the realtor, after he said that to me, you know, I told him, I said, well, I'm still coming out. I'm still going to see it. You know, I know where the property's out. I'll just get back there myself. And then he called me and said, I have another person interested in the property. They're going out there right now to look at it. And then he called me back and said, they put an offer in, and, you know, sorry, you're just SOL. I still came out. When I looked at this property, I went out there first and looked at that land, and I couldn't actually get to it even in May because the road was just completely washed out due to snow melt and flooding. And it's funny because that piece of land has wound back up on the market a couple of times now. So it sold, landed back on the market, sold, landed back on the market, because nobody can live back there. It's just, it's not accessible. So, and yes, as Rob over at Curmudgeon Inn says, yes, do not buy land without stepping foot on it, especially in Alaska. You just never know, and you need to see it at multiple times of the year. You can't just come out in the dry season and think that the land is good, because it might actually be not traversable in the spring, or definitely not in the wintertime. Especially a lot of the side roads in Alaska, which there aren't a lot of side roads, to be honest with you, but a lot of the side roads in Alaska are not maintained in the wintertime. And so you might find land and then find that you can't get off that land in the wintertime. Yes, as Rob says, go in summer and winter. And yeah, Sean said, use the multi-listing system. I used Zillow when I was looking for land, and I found it to be the most comprehensive. And Zillow won't show you everything, so you have to do, you know, a couple of back-end searches to get into some of these other property search engines. But that's how I found my property. Now, I looked for land up here for a long time. I probably looked for well over a decade for land in Alaska. But it was I looked for land, like I said, for decades, I think, at least a decade. And there were land that I thought for sure that where it's going to be great, but then once I did more of a background search, I found that that land really wasn't something that I wanted to be doing. It was either too marshy, or it was too populated of an area, or it had taxes, which I wasn't a fan of paying taxes. So, and there's a lot of places in Alaska that still don't have taxes. So someone asked, and I saw it scroll by, but I didn't catch your name. Someone asked if I have Patreon. Yes, I do have Patreon. I have a members page on my channel, and I have a Patreon page. Plus, I also have PayPal set up. So if you're ever, you know, if one works better for somebody and not the other, and you're of the sort to donate, I have those all set up for everybody. And I think they're all set up. I did them so long ago, I don't really remember. But I think they're all set up to where you can pick the amount that you want to donate. Or I have them set with really low, and then they go up from there. So I made it to where it's as convenient as I could for everybody. Yeah, Cheryl said that I was meant to have my land. I definitely think so. I definitely think that this place it had sat vacant for years. And I think it was just basically sitting vacant, waiting for me to show up and buy it and bring some life back into it. So I'm very happy to be here. I was sitting looking out back the other night and just noticing how quiet it is, how much solitude there is here. And like the only thing I could hear was Kenai breathing, which you might be able to hear him snoring behind me. But I was just absolutely in love with just how quiet it is here every night. Vancouver. Oh my goodness. So the snow, it will still be snowing up through April. Potentially longer, but at least up through April. And then that snow will stay on the ground up through the beginning of June. So beginning of June, I'll still have snow on the ground. And then by mid-June, all the snow is gone. So Richard Beck asked, how many acres do I have? I have 5 acres myself. And then I'm surrounded by state and federal lands. So yeah, there's definitely bears around. When I first arrived at the property last year, I saw grizzly tracks and black bear tracks. They're pretty easy to distinguish between one another, mostly because of the size of the paw and then the way the claws go into the ground. But every day that I'd go out when I first got here, there were new bear tracks out just beside the cabin, between the cabin and the outhouse. This fall, I didn't see hardly any bear tracks. So I don't know if it was just because my scent and Kenai's scent was more around or what, but not as many bears this year as I saw last year. Thanks for joining. Actually, I don't understand your comment. Sorry. ONX, onx, onions and garlic. Oh yeah. Allergic. Someone asked. Sorry, the comments are going by so quick. I can't see who's asking these. Someone asked something about onions and garlic. I won't be growing onions and garlic. I'm actually allergic to them. Pretty severe allergy. So yeah, no onions and garlic for this girl. Yeah, it's nice to see. Oh yes, the Onyx Hunt app. Yeah, I actually didn't use it when I went caribou hunting, but I do actually plan on downloading it to my phone so that I can have it when I go hunting again. So, and yes, Cheryl Todd asked, "Do I hear wolves?" I do hear wolves quite frequently, actually, but most of the time they're several miles off. The most recent time that I heard them, I estimate that they were about a mile and a half to 2 miles away. When the first time that I heard wolves, they were really close. Well, the third time I heard wolves, they were right outside my door, actually. There was a night when I first moved in that I was bringing in groceries after first arriving at the cabin, and it was late in the night. It was pitch dark outside, and I was surrounded by a pack of wolves. Luckily, I was able to get myself and Kenai in the cabin before anything happened. But yeah, that was quite the event. So I thought it was a bear, and I thought I was going to be smart and tap on the post out front and say, hey bear," let the bear know that I was there. And then as soon as I did that, that set them all off, and I realized that was no bear, that it was actually a pack of wolves. So um, Marty Munez said Dewey and that they love Dewey. Yes, Dewey is my favorite out of all the cameo appearances that my characters or friends have made on the channel. Dewey is by far my favorite. Yeah. Would you do a follow-up? Yeah, I can do a follow-up video to what you need to know before moving to Alaska. In fact, I was just thinking about that today, about doing a follow, excuse me, doing a follow-up, but making it a little bit more lighthearted and maybe not so intense. The last one was pretty intense. There was a lot of logistics that went into the last one. I'm checking if tax applies. Yeah. Oh, Trisha Winmore is building in Willow this year. That's nice. Yeah, I don't go outside unarmed because of all the animals that I have seen. And it only takes one time. Like just the fact that I'm not seeing the moose and I'm not seeing the bears, and the wolves are, pretty far off. It doesn't take any, you know, they could be out there and I would not know it, in other words. And there's a lot of times where I go outside and I don't have Kenai with me when I go outside. And so if I'm going out by myself, there could be a bear just standing around the corner and I wouldn't know it until it's too late. So yes, always armed. Someone asked how I learned to make videos. Just by doing it, literally just by starting. Other than, taking a little photography course in high school, which was a long time ago, honestly, just by getting into it and just mimicking what I liked in other channels that I saw, and expanding on some of the things that I watched in other channels where it's like, oh, I like that, but what can I do, to build on that? And so, yeah, just watching those that I like and taking their lead. So Gnomestead and oh, sorry, my brain just literally went blank. There were channels here in Alaska that I was watching, like Rutherford's Roaming and Gnomestead and an Alaskan Homestead and Mountain Mariner. These were all channels that I was watching before moving up here, amongst others. But I really liked what they were showing and how they were showing it, and I just decided to just take a little bit of everything and then add my own flavor to it. So yeah, hey Mountain Mariner, I didn't even see that you had joined. So someone said, do you have any Bigfoot activity around you? It's funny. to be honest with you, when I'm sitting out back and like watching the woods at night, I'm always praying that I see something move in the trees or that I see something. I don't care what it is. But honestly, no, there's not nothing around. It's so quiet out, and like there's not even anything walking through the trees. And I can tell that because all the snow is still on the trees. So no Bigfoot, no big moose, even nothing. It's really desolate right now, at least. Yeah, if you have a question about temps, Rob over at Curmudgeon Inn did a video about temperatures. Here, my temperatures range from the lowest I've seen has been -65, and the highest I've seen has been like 80, 85 degrees. The thermostat, the thermometer, sorry, thermometer on the outside of the cabin said 120, but I don't think that was accurate. I think it was picking up the heat reflecting off the dark wood of the cabin. So yeah, squatch. Yeah, no squatch here. So I did get off the property recently. The video that you can see I have my videos playing in the background, the video that was playing right before this one. So episode 64, I believe. I actually went into Anchorage and I went antique shopping and I picked up some things for the cabin. So yeah, I do get off the property every now and then. I've gone to Valdez a couple of times this winter too, which has been nice. Oh, thanks. So I'm glad that it seems like you guys like my sense of humor. It's I don't know if it's a blessing or a fault of mine, but I crack myself up. So I always have something funny running through my head. Sorry, I'm reading comments. So when it comes to wool, I would not wash wool. Chris Watson is asking if my laundry detergent recipe will treat wool well. I would not use any detergent or soap on wool or silk. I would treat those really with just cold water. And when it comes to cleaning your wool, I would wait till wintertime when it's super cold outside, give it a good scrub down with some snow, and then shake it off and let it dry. But I wouldn't use any soap or detergent on wool because you'll strip the natural oils from the wool. And then you could also cause it to felt if you use too hot of water or too much agitation. And I wear wool skirts almost every single day. So my wool skirts don't actually get washed in my laundry detergent. They just get a cold water rinsing and spot treated, but I wouldn't wash them with my detergent. My detergent is pretty powerful stuff. I mean, it will get your whites absolutely white. It will take the stains right out of just about anything. And yeah, I'm afraid it would strip the oils right out of the wool, and then the wool would not be as effective as it is. So yeah, it's pretty good stuff though. You know, it's funny. I did a video last year. So Billy Sutton said that I've got cabin fever. I did a video last year called Cabin Fever, but I didn't actually have cabin fever. I actually make myself laugh too much to have cabin fever. I don't get bored with my surroundings. I usually find something funny to do or some way of keeping myself entertained. How did I learn to cook? I learned to cook from my mom. My mom was always having me in the kitchen help her. When I was a kid, I was by her side all the time, and I was her professional taste tester, if you will. And so I learned flavors and flavor combinations pretty rapidly from just cooking alongside of her. And it was nice. I really appreciate it. So thanks for the happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys are all having a happy Valentine's Day too. I know it's tomorrow. I hope you guys all have something fun planned, or at least some quiet time with your significant other. Ashley says her humor is like the flu and not everyone gets it. I would say I'm in that same boat, Ashley, definitely. Yeah, mine is a special kind, that's for sure. And yes, if I ever make it out to any of you here in Alaska that are YouTubers and what have you, I will definitely give you a shout in advance and let you know I'm coming your way. Yes, and Mountain Mariner, you work way too much. That is for sure. I say I work too much too. So, but at least doing YouTube is fun. So at least when I'm not working my day job, I get to do this. Still reading. Reg asked, how many children do I have? I have 3 children. They're all adults, and they live back in the lower 48. But yeah, my son came out and visited me. My daughter's hoping to come out this summer and visit me, and hopefully I can get my other son up here sometime soon too. But he doesn't like the cold, so we'll see. Uh, Sorry, it's still reading. I'm a slow reader, obviously. Hi, Carrie Ann. Nice to see you. Let's see here. Yes, 2 boys and 1 girl I have. Yep. And they're all fantastic kids. They're all very independent like their mom. And they all have a pretty wicked sense of humor too, which is kind of funny. Girl in the Woods channel. Yeah, I've watched Girl in the Woods. Yep. Can you make more videos with Kenai? I try to get Kenai on camera. This last video, he was a little bit out of character because he was, you know, all in front of the camera for a good portion of it, as you might have seen in the outtakes. So I do try to get him on camera, but he is definitely camera shy, and he thinks it's weird when I'm talking to the phone. He tends to like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're scaring me. So he'll go and hide or lay down. No, I could use some of that coffee after a long day of work. That's for sure. No grandchildren, and I'm not in any hurry for grandchildren either. Yeah, so if my kids are watching, just keep that in mind. None of them are married, and I actually don't think any of them have. Well, one of my sons might actually have a serious girlfriend at the moment, but yeah, no, they can take their time on that one. Yeah, he definitely likes all my attention. Kenai does. He is my sidekick for sure. So construction is yet to be scheduled. So I've been in talks with my contractor, but right now I don't have anything scheduled yet. So we'll see. Hopefully soon, but no promises. Chris has a grandbaby on the way. Congratulations. Biggest hurdle in my move. Well, I didn't cross the Canadian border, William. I did not do that. I had firearms with me and quite a bit of ammo, and I just knew that getting across the border and plus with Kenai wasn't going to be something that I was looking forward to. So I actually took the ferry up. So I would say the biggest hurdle I had in making it here was the expense of the ferry. And then if I had done it smarter, I would have waited till I got to Alaska to buy a car, to be honest with you, and I would have just gotten a U-Haul, filled my U-Haul full of all my belongings, taken the ferry once and come across that way. But instead I bought a vehicle. I sold my son my vehicle, and then I bought myself a new vehicle, loaded that up with as much as I could, took the ferry, and then I came across that way. But then I had to have my son bring everything up, which meant another ferry ride, the rental of the U-Haul, which was going to happen anyhow, and all the added fuel of him coming up. And that was quite expensive. I think all told, it was well over 10 grand just to get my stuff up here with my son. So yeah, it's a lot. So if I had done it smart, I would have just got the U-Haul and done it myself the first time and bought a car up here. So I have considered getting a couple puppies and letting Kenai kind of show them the ropes. The only problem is that Kenai is not dog friendly at all. Anytime he sees another dog, he attacks, and it doesn't matter if it's a puppy, it doesn't matter what it is, he goes right after them. And so I've tried over the years to introduce him to puppies and other dogs that I've thought about adopting, and he doesn't have it. He is very, very, very protective. So might have to just wait, unfortunately. And I'm afraid the older he gets, the more cranky he's gotten too. So someone asked, so Panhandle Off-Road Ranch asked, have I ever shopped on Lehman's Hardware? I have shopped on Lehman's Hardware. If I could do a Lehman's Hardware wish list, I would, because there's a couple things on there that I want that you just can't find elsewhere. So I love Lehman's. Yeah, that's right up my alley for sure. Yeah, Mariner said that he thinks it's best to sell everything off and fly here to Alaska with 2 bags on a plane and start over. It can be, unless you're like me and you're just, completely attached to your belongings. Or the other thing is that I have found that it is difficult to get certain items in Alaska at the store that you would think that you could readily get. So on one of the trips that I made to Valdez this winter, I needed to replace my electric blanket because it had gone out over Christmas weekend, and they didn't have any electric blankets anywhere in Valdez. They actually kind of looked at me like I had 2 heads. They were shocked at themselves. They didn't have any, but so yeah, so some things you just can't get readily here, and some things you can. So I guess it just depends upon what works best for you at the time. I have not had a true stranger show up at my door. I have had one of the previous owners show up on the property. And then I've had a couple of my neighbors who live down the road a bit from me show up. But other than that, I've not had anybody that didn't have a reason to be on my property show up. Probably won't have subscribers. Charlotte's asking if I have plans to fix up the bunkhouse as a guest house or have subscribers come visit. I probably won't have subscribers come visit. Just because I have some offers of people willing to come out that I'm like, I don't know. But no, in all seriousness, I have plans to, I'm just going to treat it as a backup cabin. And when I have friends and family come out, then they are welcome to stay in there if they would rather have a little privacy. So, yeah, Gnomestead is saying, have a list of things to bring with you, mainly to do a replacement cost up here. Yeah, because if you have something like tools, even Brian and Diana did, a video a while back about moving to Alaska and the cost of buying something up here or the cost of bringing it with you. And you can find that it might be more expensive to buy it here than it would have cost you to haul it up. So it can be a trade-off. Yeah. Not so remote said, I thought Dewey fixed up the bunkhouse already. Yeah, I thought he did too, but yeah, it was all just cardboard and it all fell over when he walked out. I don't understand what happened. So when there were a number of years ago that I had come up here on a cruise to Alaska with my family, and I went out on a fishing venture, and the captain of that boat had moved up to Alaska from Colorado, and he said that he and his wife planned to get a shipping container or cargo container, and I think it was, you know, just a small one, a 20-foot. They mapped out the footprint of space that they would have on that cargo container and by the height, and they just took whatever possessions they wanted to bring with them and put them in that spot, and whatever fit got to come with them and whatever didn't come. And that's how they wound up moving to Alaska, was by a cargo container. So that's always an option too. Yeah, when Alaska Cut the Cord came up, yeah, they brought a 4x4, an RV, and a cargo trailer. They had quite a few vehicles. So, but you also had friends helping, which was nice. Homestead video. So I think when it comes to cutting firewood, William asked about getting a permit for cutting firewood on state land. On the Bureau of Land Management land, yes, I believe you have to get a permit, and there's only a couple areas where you can cut. I don't believe you're allowed to just cut on any of the Bureau of Land Management land. It's certain designated areas. Yeah, if I could get some of Kana Michelle is asking about it warming up and having some of my girlfriends or two over and doing a girls trip. If I could get some of my girlfriends up, I had one of my coworkers come up last year, but if I could get some of them to come up and do a fishing trip, I would. But I don't think they're as much into fishing as I am, so we'll have to see. Richard Beck is asking how long I've lived here. I have lived here now for basically 16, 17 months, just over about a year and a half is basically when it is that I've been living here. Yeah, and then Meritor says, permit, please. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people I know that just don't bother with the permit and they just go cut. So I guess it's, you know, take your risks where you can. I did get the electric blanket replaced eventually, yes. And did I miss it? I don't use it that often, but when it dropped below 50 degrees outside, you know, negative 50, and the oil burner wasn't working, I could have used it that night. So yeah. Maverick's Histories. Hi, Dorna from New Zealand. Nice of you to join me. About the same time as us. Sorry, I'm reading comments again. Yeah, about the same time that Rob at Curmudgeon came up. Yep, same time. So he's been here about the same length of time as I have. The next project that I have planned on my cabin, Raised in Alaska, is asking, and honestly, the next thing that I need to get done is the awning over the front of the Arctic entry and on the north side of the cabin to keep the snow out from in front of the Arctic entry. I had plans to use that as my main entrance this winter, and I haven't been able to because the snow is all dropping right in front of that door, blocking it. So that would be the next immediate plan. Having the outhouse rebuilt is another one. You go in the outhouse and you feel like you're going to fall right in. So that's not a good thing. What do I miss most about city living? I don't. Yeah, I don't really miss much about it at all. I miss seeing my kids. That's really what I miss. But I don't miss the traffic. I don't miss the noise, the sirens. Yeah, I don't really miss much about it. Thanks for joining Disabled and Prepping. It was good having you here. Yep. Amazon 67 Rebel is saying that Amazon is best friends up here, yep, with Alaskans, because there are a lot of companies that won't ship to Alaska. And even when you're looking on Amazon, there's a lot of shippers on Amazon that will not ship to Alaska. And the one thing I'm finding most difficult to get shipped to Alaska is anything with a lithium battery in it. They're not going to ship it on Amazon. And also anything that is solvent related, they're not going to ship to Amazon, so, or ship to Alaska. So the Amazon has its downfalls too. Shane Smith is asking what my main job is. I am a purchaser for a company back in Colorado. So I do procurement is what my main job is, and data analysis, data entry. Yeah, computer work. Let's see here. Let's see here. Thanks so much for sharing your experience. My favorite place to relax in my cabin is in my bedroom, where I had my contractor put in, Kimberly F is asking this question, where I had them put in the back door off the back of the cabin on the upper level. I have a camp chair set up right in front of that door, and every night I sit there in that chair and just look out the door. I can't really see much most nights because it's so cloudy that you can't see even the break between the trees and the sky. And it's incredibly dark because there's no light pollution whatsoever. But that is my absolute favorite place to relax in the cabin. The wood stove will be replaced. Oliver Jackson's asking, and it will be replaced at some point. I don't know exactly when. When I replace it, I most likely will be getting, I will most likely be getting a, what do you call it? A wood cook stove or a Blaze King. So I want to say thanks also to Chef Strom for the super thanks, and also to Charlotte. Thank you very, very much. Those are very awesome of you guys to do that. I really appreciate those super thanks. So the wood stove right now is working fine. I can bake in it. I can cook on top of it. It works just fine. So it'll do for now, but I would like to replace it eventually. Yeah, and Alaska's Last Frontier Homestead said shipping can be sometimes 150% of the item that you're purchasing, and that is definitely true. Shipping sometimes is way more than the item that you're getting. And sometimes, you know, you can get things up here fairly quickly, and other times it'll take them months to get them to you, which is, I don't understand. So Raisin Lass is asking about the garden plans. Garden might be containers this next year if I don't get the fence put up. So gardening, it will happen, but it's going to come slowly, I think, unfortunately. How many hours of daylight do I get? Clark Leakins is asking to grow vegetables. Where I live, it varies. You know, it'll go starting in March. I think it's beginning of March. We'll gain half an hour of daylight on either side of the day over a course of a week for a couple weeks. But then by the summer solstice, it's 20, is it? I think it's 18 hours of daylight, I think is the max I have. And then it's basically twilight on either side of that 18 hours. So it never really gets dark, but it's not super bright either. I can still sleep in it. But plenty of sunshine during the summer months. But the summer is really short because, like I said, I'll still have snow on the ground in June, and it will start snowing again basically by October 1st or sooner. So it really is just a 90-day grow period here. No northern lights lately, Ed, over at Mountain Mariner. Nope. It's been cloudy skies a lot. So yeah, I have not seen northern lights at all, but this is the prime time of the year to watch them. So I'm hoping the sky's clear and that I'll be able to see them. Ronald Pierce is asking about my live stream. This is the first one. So thanks for joining. It's, yeah, the first one. I was concerned about doing them because my internet is not the best and I tend to get a lot of power outages. But I figured I'd give it a shot and give it a go. And so I'm very thankful for all of you that have decided to join me and grace me with your presence here. You guys are making this go a lot smoother than I was thinking it would. Yeah, was afraid I would not be doing well, but thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. Oh, and thanks, Christina, Oklahoma. I love that. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Let's see here. Have I considered installing an observation tower? Yes, I have considered installing an observation tower. The balcony that I'd like to have built off the back of the deck would also suffice at that. But I actually think off to one side, I would actually like to build an observation tower. If nothing else, I'd like to do it just to be able to get a better view of over the tree line. And I'd like to be able to get some wildlife shots that I can't get from the cabin itself. Yeah, Josh is saying that he's been able to see, Josh over at Little Alaskan Home Place is saying he's been able to see the Aurora Borealis there, but the land is opened up here too. So I have the Wrangell Mountains behind my cabin, and yeah, the Aurora Borealis over those mountains is insane sometimes. It's just mind-boggling what you can see. When are you getting a snow machine? Snow machine, probably a year or so from now. Oh, nice. The audio's catching up. That's good to hear. Stilts, dome on stilts. Yeah, Gnomestead, anytime you want to come out and help build that dome on stilts, you just let me know and I'll check that checkbook and make sure I can afford your services. Yeah, thank you to everyone who's saying thank you for putting on this live stream. I'm doing it because I really appreciate all of you guys watching my videos. I really, really do. You guys have made doing YouTube such a joy. I'm really a nervous person when it comes to public speaking. I think most of us are. But you guys have made it so enjoyable to do my videos and to interact with you guys in the comments and you know, over on Patreon and in the memberships and even here. So I want to thank all of you. You guys are fabulous. Oh, yeah, that's sad. I'm sorry, Patrick, to hear about your loss of your pup. That's really sad. Oh, Charlotte, you're so sweet. You're you're really making my night. Thank you, Charlotte. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness, you're too sweet. Thanks, Jill. I appreciate you stopping by. Timothy is asking, what other candies do I like besides caramels? Caramels. I'm a caramel addict. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I still have some of the hard candy left in the candy jar, and I just keep walking by it because really I like soft caramels. That's really where my sweet tooth lies. How long did it take me to get comfortable talking to the camera? I'm still not there, Clint. These videos that you see playing behind me now, I'm comfortable when I'm relaying a story. So when I'm telling you about the events of my past week, I find those videos a lot more enjoyable to make than videos like this, where I'm offering advice, I feel like, and I don't really feel like I'm a subject matter expert on much. So yeah, sometimes it's difficult because I feel like, who am I? You know, I don't know. But also, I think that when I'm talking to the camera, I just picture that I'm on FaceTime with my mom or my daughter, and that makes it go a lot easier. Just picture someone that you love is on the other side of that camera, and you'll find it's a lot easier to talk to the camera. Um, Freeze dried Skittles. Yeah, Adam and Phyllis. Yeah, that would be awesome if you sent me some freeze dried Skittles. That's Adam and Phyllis from Cut the Cord. Let's see here. If you thanks, Annette. That's very nice of you. Thanks, Charlotte. You're very kind. Let's see here. I'm still reading. When I was driving with the yeah. So Matt's saying that when he was driving for the cruise lines, he had to learn to speak in public and make stuff up at the same time. So you have to be kind of like good at just throwing stuff off the cuff. My mom actually applied for a job as a tour guide for Princess Cruise Lines, and she was saying that was one of the things they were looking for, was somebody who could wing it and make up a cute story on the spot. So Toastmasters is probably a good place to start too if you're not good with public speaking. Thanks, Carrie Ann. I appreciate that. Does Costco deliver to your P.O. box? I don't know. I don't have a Costco membership. Costco is just too crowded of a place for me. While they might have good deals on bulk and what have you, it's just, I feel claustrophobic in there. I just can't bring myself to really go shop there. So, hi, Linda. Nice of you to join me. So my mailing address can be found in the description below all of my videos. So let's see here. If you click on the video itself and then scroll down, I don't know if you guys can see this, but my address is actually right in the description of all of my videos. And when the P.O. box opens back up, the P.O. box, that's what the address is. But when I was going to say, when I open up the P.O. box, I'll add the Amazon link back in there as well for the wish list. Right now, I just have it disabled because with the snow coming and going, there's no guarantee that I can get to the P.O. box in time to get any of the things out of there before they wind up sending them back. So let's see here. I've been out for 10 years. Oh, wow. Nomi said his power had been out for 10 years. That's a long time to go without power. Unless, of course, you got solar or some other backup. But yeah, 10 years is a long time. Thanks. Yeah, Clint, I am not the quiet one. It's funny. I'm very shy, believe it or not. I know you guys probably don't believe that, but I'm very shy, and I overcome that shyness by kind of being a brat. I think I'm the wisecrack in the group, but it's all just a coping mechanism. Bye, Brian and Diana. Thanks for joining at Alaskan Homestead. Yes, there are different hunting and fishing seasons, and there's different, Clint, this is another question from Clint. There's different seasons, not only, there's, Charlotte's laughing. There's a different hunting and fishing season for, I just lost my train of thought. I apologize. There's different for in-state and for the subsistence, and then there's also different for out of state. So say the caribou, for example, if you're on the state subsistence, then you might not be able to hunt when the federal subsistence hunting is going on. So there's definitely different seasons for all of it. Charles Quick is asking about Grubhub and Uber, DoorDash. Yeah, those things don't exist up here. I don't think, though I have heard people say that they're running ads in the paper for them. I know Charlotte was saying, you know, in regards to her super thinks that I am providing entertainment for you guys. And, you know, I appreciate you guys as much as, you know, you guys tell me that you appreciate me. So, Charlotte, I'm more than happy to keep entertaining you. I'm glad that you find me entertaining. And I don't know about Walmart if they'll. I do know actually that Walmart will deliver to my PO box because I tried to purchase some stuff from there, but unfortunately it never made it, and I wound up having to get my money back. So. Let's see here. How far away is the closest store? The closest store, I believe, is about 50 miles away from me. So, and then restaurant would be the same thing. Yeah. Are you relieved you're away from all the current? Yeah, I don't pay attention to the news, so I don't really know everything that's going on down in the lower 48. Sorry. That's one of the reasons I left too, was to get away from all the craziness. Easier just drive to town once. Yeah, it's easier. Like, honestly, Matt AK is asking about driving to town. I drive to town for big supply runs twice a year, and then other than that, not really. Oh no, Charlotte is saying that she was diagnosed last March with leukemia, has been taking treatment since then, pretty consistently, but no chemo. That's good to hear, Charlotte. Instead, immunological therapy. I was just too weak, felt my body wouldn't take the chemo. Oh, I'm sorry, Charlotte. I really hope that you're on the mend. That is heart-wrenching. I'm really sorry to hear that. Oh, Zeta, yeah. Printed. Zeta one is asking about the military manuals and if she'd like to send some printed or on disc. Printed. I definitely prefer printed materials. Carrie Ann is asking about Starbucks. I don't think I've seen Starbucks in Alaska, to be honest with you. I don't know if they exist here. Yeah, Chris is saying that Alaska's EMP proof. That's only because we don't have much electronics. But my platelets are red and white. Charlotte's saying she's doing much better. That's good. Yeah, Charlotte, I'm hoping that things get much, much better for you too. I'm glad to hear that your platelet counts, both red and white, are doing good. That's good to hear. My prayers and thoughts definitely go out to you for that. Leukemia is not anything to take lightly, that's for sure. So. Yeah, Charlotte, I'm ornery too, for sure. That is for sure. Oh, so Carrie Ann, Alaska Bill at Alaska's Last Frontier Homestead said that there is a Starbucks in Anchorage. So about 5 hours away, there's a Starbucks. Let's see here. How does it feel going outside? So Haraja said, how does it feel? And I apologize if I mispronounced your name. How does it feel going outside if it's freezing cold? I don't mind the cold. This morning, I think it was about 10 degrees outside, and I was out there in just my socks, no shoes on, grabbing firewood. Um, yeah, the cold doesn't really bother me. I wouldn't stay out there for long like that, but it it's fine actually. So Reg is asking about if I have a life-threatening moment, EMS or helicopter. So I've thought about doing a helicopter service to my property, but I have to maintain a pad for them to land on, or at least a clearing, which I don't have right now, that would be acceptable for them to land on. And so it would be emergency medical services. Yeah. And the unfortunate part about that is it could take, a few hours, a couple hours for them to get to me. So, um, just, knock on wood, I haven't had a serious injury yet. And let's hope it stays that way. Yes, I'm used to it, Haraja. I am definitely used to the cold. I grew up in Colorado, which is similar climate to Alaska. And yeah, the cold doesn't bother me. I much prefer the cold. So that's one of the reasons also why I moved to Alaska is the 9 months of winter is very welcome. So if I got a moose, I would probably be hunting with somebody else, if I was hunting. And hopefully they'd have a quad or a snow machine or something like that. But if I managed to get a moose during moose season on my own property, I wouldn't have far to go to pack it back into the cabin. So will you build your greenhouse domes? Yeah, I'm Mark Termal is asking about greenhouse domes. I would like to either get some of the geodesic domes like the Gnomestead builds, or maybe some high tunnels. We'll just have to see, but nothing yet. Thanks. You definitely got me there with the ribeye, the homemade French fries, and the ice cold Guinness. That's a tempting invitation, especially because I haven't had dinner yet. So yeah. I'll have to have someone else answer this question about how far away is Target. I also don't know if there's a Target in Alaska. I think there might be one in Anchorage. I don't remember. Alina is asking if I plan on staying here or return home someday. Nope, this is where I plan on staying. And Charlotte saying that she loves seeing me wear my gun. She's been shooting since she was 7. Her dad was an instructor. So brother and her had to do the courses yearly for 10 years. Marksman level target shooting. That's fantastic. Yeah. I am a gun fanatic. I am a 2A advocate all the way. Um, when when I was growing up, I remember telling my dad that I was going to put a bumper sticker on my car about packing heat in my car. And my dad just gave me the side eye. He didn't think that was the wisest thing for me to do. But yeah, I don't go anywhere without my gun. But I am no marksman like you, Charlotte. Definitely, I'm a good shot. I'm a good shot, but I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I do practice a lot though, so hopefully someday I'll get there. No more strange winter sounds. The chimney chime, William, that you're asking about. I did hear that chimney just yesterday, in fact, and it made me think, oh, I haven't heard that in a while. So I'm not sure if moving the chimney had something to do with it or what, but yeah, no more strange winter sounds. I haven't seen I mentioned the light that was in the trees. I haven't seen any more lights like that, other than every now and then I see some little flashes of light, but I can't say for sure if that's my eyes playing tricks on me or if it's actually something in the trees. I don't know. Yeah, the Alaskan moose here are, or the Alaskan moose, the moose here in Alaska, Amy, are huge. I've seen them where they stand taller than my Ford Expedition, and they're probably just as long from tip of nose to end of tail. So they're massive. Let's see here. Did I go to Lynn Bomar's asking if I went to beauty school? No, Lynn, when I cut my hair, that was literally the first time I'd ever cut hair in my life. I'm sure my mom was having a panic attack watching me with scissors in that video. But no, I have no training in cutting hair. I watched a girl, Rachel McEwen, McKweon. I know I just misspelled her name, but Rachel McEwen. I watched her tutorials, and that's how I figured out how to cut my hair. But I'm uh, just as surprised as you guys probably are that it turned out as well as it did. So thank you. Let's see here. As far as the chimney staying cleaner this year, I have not had a chance to get back up on the roof to clean it out. Um, excuse me. But I know that it needs it. And yeah. So I need to get up there and clean out the chimney. But with the snowing every day, it's just not safe for me to be up on the roof, and I cannot clean it from inside the cabin. So that's something that I'll have to do. Excuse me one moment. Charlotte's telling me that I look like an old Western cowgirl in the old movies. That is a huge compliment, Charlotte. I really appreciate that because uh, I would give anything to be back in that time. So I know the chimney needs cleaned only because the snow that has fallen off the roof recently has had little bits of creosote in it. But I'm not having any creosote buildup in the chimney box or in the firebox itself or on the door of the firebox. So I know the chimney's not blocked. I just know that the wind is pulling some of that creosote off the cap of the chimney. So I'm being very cognizant of the fire and what it's doing, listening to the chimney, making sure there's no crackling in it or anything like that. But as soon as the roof is dry enough that I can climb back up there and clean it out, that's my plan. So no, to be honest with you, I don't think the plural of moose is meese. No. And yes, lips. I did listen to some of the old time radio. Thank you very much for sending that. Yep, I really enjoy them. Everywhere. Yep, yep, Matt. That is true. Alaska is a 2A sanctuary, so yeah, that's one of the perks of living in this state is that you get to pack heat everywhere you go. The live. Oh, that's weird. How many, Christina is asking, how many moose have I seen on my property? It varies from time to time, but I would say I can't even count how many moose I've actually seen on the property. Yeah, I actually don't know because I've seen quite a few. But recently there hasn't been any. Bear shot under chin into spine, remember. I'm not sure what that's about. Yeah, not so remote says a shotgun makes everybody an expert marksman. So if I had one piece of advice for anybody looking to protect their home, it would be shotgun. A spray pattern will do even the worst at aiming a good job when trying to protect yourself. Well, you guys, do you have any more questions that you guys have? I don't necessarily have to get off just yet. You know, I can stay online for a little bit longer. So yeah, Rob, I'm seeing your comment about cleaning the chimney from the inside. I am not able to get my chimney apart on the inside right at the moment. So that's the only reason I haven't cleaned it from the inside. I did try that earlier this year and I couldn't get it apart. Yep, if you're going for bears, use slugs. That is true. Got to shoot bears either in the heart or right behind the skull, if possible. Have you eaten moose yet? Do you like it? Yes, Charlotte, I have eaten moose. My contractor had actually brought me some moose, and to be honest with you, it was fantastic. And New Nomi is also Nomstead has also given me some canned moose, which was fantastic as well. So yes, the moose is very, very tasty. My skirts I bought from individual stores, thrift stores a lot of times, or Amazon even, is where I got my skirts from, Debbie. Yep. And Tammy. Yep. Carrie Ann's asking about seeing bears on the property, and not recently, Carrie Ann. The last one was in September, was the last time I saw a bear come through. There, as far as finding a vet, Trisha is asking about a veterinarian. I would actually wind up taking Kenai into Wasilla, would be probably where I'd have to go for a vet. I know there's one in Glen Allen, but I don't know how often they're open. And gasoline, I don't actually know. It's been a while since I've had to fill up the vehicle, so I think it's around $5 a gallon, but I don't actually know how much gasoline is right now. I do not have a TV, and there's not really any radio stations here. I can't, in the car, I can't get any AM radio, and there's like one radio station that I'm able to pick up, but it's, I think it's a religious station. They don't play any regular music or anything like that. Every time I've turned it on, it's just playing like an old-timey radio show, but religious based. So yeah, there's not really any radio here. Have I considered adding safety rails or tie-ins to my roof? Yes, I have considered that. I also considered putting some step plates on the roof that would act as a ladder so that I could climb up there. But so far I don't have anything like that. that will probably come down the road, that I'll get those things added in. And Kurt is asking about seeing some of my target practice. I have thought about putting up some of the target practice in video, but I know YouTube would suppress the video, and that's the only reason I haven't done it, is because they're not really 2A friendly, unfortunately. So yeah, I would like to, though. I definitely would like to. And I have thought about reloading. I need to get a reloading bench. I should have done it before I came up here, to be honest with you. Charlotte says they have moose meat everywhere in Alaska, even in restaurants. You know, the one thing is, I haven't seen moose meat for sale in the grocery stores. I've seen some caribou meat for sale in the grocery stores, but I've not seen any of the moose meat. So, but that's good to know, Charlotte. I assumed they had it in restaurants. Can I do a twirl? Probably not. I'm a klutz. I'd probably fall over. What is your least favorite chore? Mine is roof rake pole. 5 feet is no one. Yeah, Amy, I agree with you. My least favorite chore would be the roof rake, because I'm super short too, and especially when your roof is, you know, as tall as mine is. Once you put too many extension rods on that roof rake, it becomes impossible to maneuver. So yeah, that would definitely be one. Yeah, and that's Curmudgeon is saying no game meat for sale. Yep, I would think that's true. I do not knit or crochet. When I was a kid, I tried to learn how to crochet and I could not even do a single strand. I don't have the patience really for knitting or crocheting, though I do have the tools to do it. So maybe someday I'll learn to sit still long enough to do it. Kenai likes, oh, what are they called? The bacon strips, and he likes, I can picture the box, and I don't have any of them sitting here. They're, yeah, I'll show it in an upcoming video. I can't remember what they're called. They're just a normal dog biscuit that you get at any store, but I can't remember what they're called. And I have not made jerky here yet. I've made jerky in the past, but not here. Christina is saying that. Hey, Colin, nice of you to join in. I am doing well, and I hope you are too. Let's see here. Yeah, Charlotte, I enjoy fishing and the solitude, and it can be very relaxing. Can be, but I'm guilty of when I'm not getting a fish to bite for very long, I'm moving to the next spot and to the next spot and to the next spot. I'm rarely one to sit there and just fish with a bobber in the water. Yes, milk bones. Thanks, Annette. That's exactly it. That is exactly what Kenai likes. He likes the bacon strips and the milk bones. Yep. He gets a couple milk bones every single day. So, and William, you're very welcome for joining, and I appreciate you guys asking all the questions so I can answer them. You guys have made the time actually go by so quickly. I have really enjoyed this tonight. So, I would be scared the snow would push it over. we were talking your head off. You'll sleep good tonight. Yeah, I'll probably wind up with a sore throat in the morning, Charlotte, from all the talking I'm doing tonight. But I don't mind that you guys are talking my head off. I actually really appreciate it, Charlotte. So yeah, thank you. The comments are going by too quickly. I'm trying to read them all, so I apologize. How much was my last electric bill? My last electric bill was, I believe, $140. $140. And that's, again, powering 4 freezers, 2 computers, lights periodically, and the oil burner. And that's it. But the electricity here is kind of expensive. Electricity is, I believe, 23 cents a kilowatt hour. Yeah, Charlotte. Trust me, I'm very, very thankful for all of you guys. It's a pleasure. I hope to do the balcony soon, but I don't think that'll be coming this summer. There are other things that are more important. And everything is expensive. I heard from somebody that the cost of lumber is expected to go back up by about 20%. It's kind of funny. It's almost like it was being scheduled, which seemed odd to me. But so, yeah, there are only certain projects that are going to get done. Zeta1 is asking if I'm familiar with the Whole Dog Journal. No, I did see your email, but no, I'm actually not familiar with the Whole Dog Journal. No, Charlotte, you're not hawking anything. I appreciate all of you guys. I'm trying to read through as much as I can. Yeah, $35 electric bill. That would be really nice. I would be very happy for a $35 electric bill, especially considering I feel like I have a lot less electronics here. Because I'm not using an electric range, I'm not using a refrigerator, a freezer combination. Even though I have the 4 freezers, I feel like I still have a lot less electricity usage here. I don't have children living with me, no television running all the time. And yet my bill is higher here for electricity than it was back in Colorado with having all those other things. So, all right. Bye, Angie and David. You guys have fun putting the chickens to sleep over there at Rutherford Roamings. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I've seen a $35 electric bill since I lived in an apartment, straight out of high school. It's been a long time since I've seen electric bills that inexpensive. What was the one thing that motivated me to move to Alaska most of all? Alaska, honestly. Well, I don't know if that's actually true. I remember coming to Alaska on a cruise with my family and telling my dad that if ever I disappeared, to not come looking in Alaska, because this is exactly where I would be. So yeah, Alaska is definitely part of it because it's absolutely gorgeous here. And I do like the fact that at least where I'm at is sparsely populated. But one of the other things is that I really wanted a dry cabin, and I couldn't do that in Colorado. It just was not in the regulations. It used to be that you could have a dry cabin in Colorado, but they've just regulated everything, and now you were, having to put in a minimum square footprint, and you were having to put in water closets and septic tanks and be tied into electricity and what have you. And I didn't want any of that, to be honest with you. So that was a big part of it too. It's so Charlotte saying that it's so beautiful there. It's a way of life. No place like it. Folks are so laid back. Yeah, it's amazing. It really is. The people in Alaska, I have to tell you that the people in Alaska, you know, whether you're in Anchorage, Fairbanks, or on this side of the state, you know, every place I've been in Alaska, everybody is so cordial and so nice and so friendly. And I don't know if part of that is because of the tourist industry that they, you know, it's just trained into everybody that, you know, the tourist money is what provides us with income and keeps the state going, or if it's really just the nature of people in Alaska. But I also think the stress is so much less here on people that it just kind of relaxes everybody. But yeah, Alaska people are really awesome people. Yep, everyone's down to earth, that is for sure. Very down to earth. Where would you go in Alaska for vacation? Um, that, yeah, that's a good question. Camping out in the middle of the woods, which is funny considering that's where I live. But yeah, I don't know. Uh, Someplace away from from the traditional tourist spots for sure. I don't actually know. Living in the forest. You're coming to Alaska next year. That if you ride the train rails from Anchorage to Fairbanks, I think you're going to see some amazing sights. It is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, Alaska is amazing. Hey, Heather, nice to see you here. Nope, we're still live. And if you, I think that this will be recorded. And so you guys should be able to see it, you know, post show as well. And John in Alaska, I'm glad you're here. I hope you're feeling better. Charlotte saying that she's taken the train twice. That's a tongue twister. But yeah, that the train ride is awesome. What kind of dog do I have? I'm not exactly sure. I found him a number of years ago, and I think that he is part lab and part mastiff. Not mastiff. I'm reading your Zeus. I'm reading your name there. I think he is actually part. Oh my goodness, my brain just went blank. Like a Great Pyrenees, but the black one. Yeah, I don't know why I can't think of it, but that's what he is. What are the hardest items to acquire that I need? Yeah, I wouldn't know. Like I said earlier in the conversation, was one of the hardest things to get has been anything with a lithium battery in it or anything with solvents. They won't ship here. Um, and that's one other thing when you're living remote. If you need something large delivered, like to your doorstep, you're paying a trucking company to do it. And even then, they have contracts where they won't drive down certain roads. So, yeah, that could be part of it. Yeah, Charlotte, he is definitely part lab mix, but he is Newfoundland. Thank you, Rob. That is right. Newfie. I believe he's got Newfoundland in him. He's got the temperament of a Newfoundland. He also has rear dew claws like Newfies have and stuff. So, well, I am wanting to thank everybody for joining me tonight. I have had a great time I am so enjoying this. But I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes and then I am going to call it a night so that I can actually go cook myself some dinner. Because I do unfortunately have to work tomorrow as well. But I wanted to thank all of you for joining me tonight. I want to say thank you to all of you that provided super chats and for making this a lot of fun. And I plan on doing this on a regular basis. So I'm not sure. And thank you for the congratulations as well, the nice wishes on my view count. Excuse me one second. So I'm not sure if I'll do this weekly or if it'll be bi-weekly, but I do plan on doing it quite frequently. And so I hope that you'll all join me again for the next one. And I look forward to having these conversations. It's nice to be able to talk with you guys in real time, or at least as close to real time as I can get it. So, thanks, Nomstead. I think you're awesome sauce too. You're welcome, Charlotte. Thank you. And thank you for the super chats too. I really appreciate it. And good luck with your treatments. I hope that your next doctor's visits go well. I have seen Zeus or Zeta. I have seen the rough wear dog gear. I have seen that. I've actually thought about getting Kenai some of it. It's a DSL, CJ. I'm on DSL. Next video should be out Thursday, or I'm sorry, Friday or Saturday. I'm not making any promises. Pray that I don't have an internet or power outage. Yes, Carrie Ann, thank you for joining. And all of you, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you being here tonight. It has been a lot of fun. Two Bears, you're just finally joining on. Oh yeah, your wool socks. Yeah. Most people wash their wool socks though. I do wash my wool socks. That is the one thing that I do. But again, I only wash them in cold water. I talk a lot of times. I'm also quiet a lot. Charlotte, I talk just as much as you do. So I think we're in good company with each other. What's for dinner? I'm not sure yet. I don't remember what I took out or what I'm going to make with whatever I took out. Yeah, I think it was hamburger. I don't remember. All right, everyone. Well, see you again, Charlotte and everyone else. I hope you all have a good night. And again, thank you all for joining. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. And as you know, I always say, I hope that you take care and that you stay safe and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Wait, that probably doesn't leave much, does it? Two Bears, you're forgiven. I'll do lives again. Hopefully you'll be able to stay awake. Heather, I'll do them again, Heather. So don't be miffed. You'll have plenty of opportunities to talk with me. Yep, all of you. Yeah, anyone who joined late, you know, Deborah and what have you, it's all good. I'll do these again. Like I said, I'm not sure if it'll be weekly, but maybe we'll see. But it's been a lot of fun, that's for sure. All right, everyone, have a good night. I'll see you again soon. I'm signing off now.